Hello everyone, it's Jane and welcome back. If you've ever had trouble getting your lines to meet in Silhouette Studio, I'm hoping this short example will give you hope that it is possible and you don't have to tear your hair out in the process. To demonstrate, I'm going to be drawing a half circle, and there are a couple of methods, so let's deal with the first one. You want your grid on. You want snap to grid on, and the spacing is entirely up to you. I'm using inches and I've got divisions set at 8. I'm going to zoom in so we can see the lines a little more clearly, and I'm going to start by drawing an arc. So we want the Draw an Arc tool. It is a line tool, so we don't need any fill colour, and I'd want it red because I want this to cut. I'm going to start in the middle and draw out 1 inch and 2 inches, and then let go of the mouse and come up and snap it over to the right 180 degrees, click once, and that's my half circle. If we whip into the send window, you'll be able to see it's got its red cut line, but we haven't got a line at the bottom and we need to put one in. Let's zoom in again. So now I'll go back to my line tool, click draw a line, and I can start just at the left, and it will snap to the nearest grid square. And if I turn the grid off now, so we've just got a plain background, you can see that it's joined exactly where the arc was. And that's because we've used the snap to grid to make sure that our lines meet up. And if I use the draw round shape option, you can see if I zoom in really closely, that's a really good edge for cutting. And of course, if we go back to the send window, we've got a nice half circle. And once you've done it this way, draw around both of your shapes, group them together. I'm going to turn snap to grid off for the moment, but I'll put my grid back on. And you can now resize that just like you would any other shape. You can also type in measurements in the width and height box here, and if you have the padlock locked by clicking it, if I type in here 4 inches and press enter, it will automatically scale it to keep the proportions. That's a great way to cut a half circle if you're cutting plain card or patterned paper and you don't want to put anything in it. What if you want to make your own design and it's a print and cut and you want a solid colour fill? Well, you can't fill this shape because it's 2 lines, and so this centre bit is hollow. So even if I select it like I have there and click a fill colour, nothing will happen. So I gave this a little thought and I thought, what's the easiest way to make sure I just fill that half circle? And I didn't come up with a very easy way at all, except for one that I did the first time. So I'm going to try that. So let's move this one over here. Start with an ellipse, put snap to grid back on, and I started with one that was 5 inches by 5 inches. And fill it with any colour. So now we know that that's a 5 by 5 inch circle, but of course I want a half circle, don't I? So I'm going to go back to my shape tool and I'm going to draw a rectangle this time. I'm going to change the colour, just make it brown so that I can see it. And I'm going to start halfway and just outside, and you can snap to grid still, so I know I'm getting exactly half, and cover half of my circle. I'm going to draw around both to group them together, open my Modify panel and choose Subtract. Use the frontmost shape to cut a hole in the back shape. I've now got a half circle that's got a fill colour, and that means I'll be able to change that fill colour to whatever I like if I want to do my own print and cut half circle colours. And of course I can resize it in exactly the same way as the one that I drew with the arc and the line. And again, I can type in width or height measurements and press enter, and with the padlock checked, it will always keep it in proportion. If we go to the send window, of course, I've got my nice even cut line. And similarly, if I bring this one back in, the one that we did earlier, I've got my nice clean cut lines. I hope this little explanation helps you get your cut lines to meet together when you want them to. And until I see you next time, take care.